From your memory, we were studying about inheritance of one gene, and we better understood that inheritance of one gene through monohybrid cross. And now in this session, we are going to study inheritance of two genes. And this as like one gene, the inheritance of two genes also can be better understood through dihybrid cross. And usually this question is for 5 marks in your CBSE board exam. So it's something like a mathematical one, mathematics in biology. If you can do this correctly, you get 5 out of 5. So focus on today's session and keep practicing it. At least 2 to 3 times you practice with varieties of characters. Then you will be perfect and you are sure of getting 5 marks from this question. So what does it say? It is related to Mendel's second law. As we discussed in our previous sessions, we were talking about Mendel's work, and Mendel formulated all his works that he has done into 3 laws. The first law we discussed in the monohybrid cross, law of dominance, wherein, remember, we said capital T for tallness. Presence of this capital T will make the organism tall. And pair of alleles like capital T, it is pure tall. And similarly, the tallness will come even if it is heterozygous allelic combination. Still, it is as tall as pure tall. That is because of the presence of dominant gene capital T. That is law of dominance. Every character is controlled by a gene. Of course, Mendel called it as factor. This occurs in 2 alternative forms called alleles. Law of dominance states that only one factor expresses itself in F1 generation, that is capital T, expresses itself. The factor or allele that expresses itself is called dominant gene, and it is dominant in character and is able to express its effect, while the factor called recessive, that is small t, remains unexpressive. So in the presence of the dominant gene, recessive cannot express itself. That's why the capital T is called dominant gene. This is law of dominance. And the second one is law of segregation, wherein we said that a pair of contrasting factors are brought together in a hybrid, and these factors do not blend or mix up, but simply associate themselves and remain together and separate again at the time of gamete formation. Like when we put that Punnett square, remember that we wrote the gametes are getting separated like this, and then when they form the zygote, they are combining independently by separating it. So this is law of separation or segregation. Now we are going to study the third law, law of independent assortment. It states that genes of different characters located in different pairs of chromosomes are independent of one another. Means they have freedom in their segregation during gamete formation. Mendelian recombinations were mainly due to independent assortment. They have freedom. Independence means freedom. They have freedom and assert themselves. And this principle was proved using, as I said, dihybrid cross, and whose phenotypic ratio will be 9:3:3:1, which is a universal. So, second, the law of independent assortment states that factors for different pairs of contrasting characters. What is contrasting characters? Like tallness of the plant or length of the plant. The contrasting characters are tallness and dwarfism. In a hybrid, asserted, distributed independently during gamete formation. So Mendel's law, of course we consider it as third law, can be explained by dihybrid cross. So we can make it this as third law, because first law is law of dominance, second law is law of segregation, and third law is law of independent assortment. So in a dihybrid cross, di means two, Di means 2, and hybrid because of the crossing of the characters. The cross between two parents which differs in two pairs of contrasting characters. Let us see this. So what we are doing here, we are taking again a pea plant, and this time we are selecting seed color and seed texture. So two characters at a time. There you see we said we have taken only length of the plant. Here seed texture, is it round seed or wrinkled seed? So remember we said that the first alphabet we should take round, capital R, 2 alleles, and corresponding you should not take small w because it is wrinkled. You should take corresponding letters of that dominant one, smaller, and then color of the seed. One is texture and second one is color of the seed. Is it yellow color or green color? And how do you decide that yellow is dominant and green is recessive? I told you it's the number of populations. So phenotype is round yellow and the corresponding genotype will be capital R, capital Y. And the wrinkled one correspondingly small r, small y. So just to differentiate this capital Y and small y, in your paper you can write like this, small y, instead of, I think, to differentiate. So what are the possible gametes that will be found? From this capital R, so this will come, this gamete, and from this will be coming. So independent assortment, that's what we said. And this is from small r, one smaller is coming. From small y, one y is coming. So when these gametes fuse in F1 generation, it is like this. This is capital R and small r and capital Y and small y. So you are getting the combination capital R, capital Y and small y. But law of dominance works here. Because of the presence of capital R, the phenotypic condition of the F1 generation, this is F1 generation, right? So this will be round, and again because of the presence of capital Y, the phenotypic condition is yellow. So F1 generation, all seeds will be round and yellow, which is the characteristic of one of the parents, this one. Now the question is, what happened to this? Why that could not express itself? So for that we explain this through dihybrid cross. Now from F1 what we got, the round yellow, this is the parental generation, this is P generation, you can name it as P generation, okay, and when we cross this we are getting all the seeds round yellow like one of the parental characters. But genotype is, this is pure round, pure yellow, capital R, capital Y, whereas in this capital R, capital Y, small y. But phenotypically both are same. So when the F1 generation seeds are self-pollinated, what are the various gametes that we get? So the combination is like law of segregation and law of independent assortment. One is capital R, capital Y, this way, this combination. So you are getting capital R, capital Y. Capital R, small y, next, this combination. You are getting second gamete. Now small r, capital Y, you are getting this. Now small r, small y, we are getting this. Similarly, this gets duplicated, hence you are getting two sides gametes. That means totally 4 plus 4, 8 gametes. And these 8 gametes, that is sperm and rather we can say pollen grain and the ovum. So pollen grain having capital R, capital Y, ovum or egg having capital R, capital Y. So these combinations will work in this way. So this pollen grain meets this ovum. What is the zygote that is found? Capital R, capital Y, capital Y. So what is the phenotype of this? Pure red and pure round and pure yellow, because capital R is for pure round, capital Y is for yellow. So round and yellow. Similarly, capital R, this combines with this So capital R, and capital Y, small y. Again, because of law of dominance. Next, capital Y, small y. Now the combination of this. Now this time this one. So you pick up one sperm and make it to fuse with the eggs. 4. So 1:4, you get this. So next, capital R small y versus small r small y. So you get capital R, capital Y, small y, phenotypically. So in Punnett square, the first square, horizontally if you see, all the 4 seeds that are formed, that is zygotes that are formed, will be round and yellow. Similarly, you go to the next one. This pollen grain reacts with or combines with the eggs. So capital R, capital Y, small y, because of law of dominance, again yellow. And now you get this capital R and this way, capital R, capital Y, you're getting first time round green. See, this is a new character. Round green, this one is a new character. It's not there. Was it there? Wrinkled green is there. But round green is a new character. This is Mendelian character because round yellow is there already. Wrinkled green also is there. This is also Mendelian character. But these are the new characters that have come. Wrinkled yellow and the round green. So you continue crossing this. When you cross this, you get, you can count how many round yellow seeds are there. And here, when you are counting it, you must remember, round, even if one dominant gene, capital R is there, seed becomes round. One capital Y is there, it becomes yellow. So round and yellow, you count how many? You will see 9. You can count here in this Punnett square. Top 4, second row 2, 4 plus 2, 6. And third row 2, 6 plus 2, 8. And fourth row, first one. So 9. So 9 are round and yellow. So 9 by 16 are round and yellow. Next, how many green? Second row you got 2, 1 plus 1, 2. And fourth row you got 1. So 3. 3 is round and green. So round yellow 9, round green 3. Now we come to wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled yellow, you can see in the third row 1, 2 and 3. So that's a new one, wrinkled yellow. And then what is left out? Wrinkled green. How many are there? Only one, this one. So the characteristic of the grandmother has come here. See, look at this. This is the character. So the grandmother's character has come back to the grandson, we can say. So overall, the phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. So this is for 5 marks. What he will give you in the exam is, he will give you the phenotypic characters of parental generation. Now, based on the populations, number of populations, you must decide the genotype, which is dominant, which is recessive. And since it is a 2 gene, you have to write correctly 4 alphabets, like capital R, capital Y, dihybrid. Okay, 2 characters we are taking at a time. What is the character? Round and wrinkled, yellow or green. So that's why dihybrid character. And from that you have to formulate F1 generation. And the selfing of this F1 generation, you have to write the sperms, 4 pollen grains or sperms and 4 ova on top in a Punnett square. And you cross this pollen grain with the ovum, you get the zygotes. Based on the zygotes, you have to write the genotype and corresponding phenotype like this. Then you can decide the phenotypic ratio. So when you arrive at 9:3:3:1, you get 5 out of 5 marks. But it must be correct. And we can do test cross also. F1 hybrid is crossed with recessive green wrinkled pea plant. And recessive green wrinkled is recessive small r, small y, correct? And the corresponding gamete that will be formed is small r, small y. So you can write this way just to differentiate. And F1 hybrid is round yellow, capital R, capital Y, small y. And the possible gametes are 4, like capital R, capital Y, 1 gamete. capital R, small y, another gamete, small r, capital Y, another gamete, small r, small y. So the possible gametes are this. When we do the crossing, you get all phenotypic ratio 1:1:1:1. That's all. So this is how we get the dihybrid test cross also. And Mendel work published in 1865 but remain unrecognized till 1900. Reasons: during those days, lack of communication, they were using pigeons. Concept of gene was not there. In fact, Mendel himself used the word factors. And mathematical approach for biology, like just now we calculated 9:3:3:1, biology was not accepted. No proof for existence of factors. Mendel could not prove that those something called factors are working. Hence, keep practicing this dihybrid cross. Now I have explained this dihybrid cross through seed color.